On this week's episode of the Marketing Expedition podcast, we have David J., and he is the founder and CEO of Warm Welcome, and he was recently named a top 100 tech innovator and influencer. David is a startup junkie. He has started several service-based companies and several software companies. He believes that businesses can be a tool to help us build better relationships and connect us to a purpose far beyond ourselves. Warm Welcome exists because we believe that businesses at its best, it's personal and purposeful. We're going to share a lot about what Warm Welcome is all about. Until then, I need to share just a couple things with you first. So on this week's episode, we have Schedule Once as our featured affiliate. Schedule Once is a super powering, scheduling, wonderful tool that I use to book our podcast, to book our meetings, appointments, Zoom meetings, all the things. And it looks at my calendar and gives people opportunity to pick a time that works best for them. And it also follows up automatically to confirm. It gives a rescheduling link to whoever is trying to book time with me. It is awesome, right? You can add the booking pages right to your website in minutes, and it lets your prospects or clients or whoever it is that you want to share your booking link with to schedule meetings in seconds. And it gives them all the information. If you want to do it in person or on Zoom, you can connect it with Zoom and do all kinds of cool things. So Schedule Once, go to peppershock.com/offers and select the link, and it will tie you to the link that I have for you, and you'll get a special price for it. So go to peppershock.com/offers and click on the Schedule Once scheduling superpower tool that you will love and thank me for later. Now it's time for our weekly marketing expedition essentials, the basics that you need to survive in your marketing journey with us. And so today's topic is being able to get a return on your marketing investment, being able to understand it, track it, know what you're doing, measure what you treasure, dump what you don't, automate what you hate. And so just a few tips for you. And of course, you can always go to themarketingexpedition.com to read more about these tips, because I'm going to just give you a little bit right now, but go to themarketingexpedition.com and search how to get a return on your marketing investments. ROMI, return on marketing investments, or ROI. Right? So a lot of businesses, when you're starting out, you got to have a budget, right? No matter who you are, you really should be using a budget if you're big or small, right? And every penny is going to count. And you want to make sure that what you're doing, the time that you're investing, the talent that you hire, and the treasure that you spend, time, talent, and treasure, right? Those are the things that we're looking at and wanting to continue to improve. And we look at customer acquisition costs. How much is it going to take to acquire a new customer? And what's the lifetime value of that customer? And those are things that we can use to understand what we are measuring and how it's working, right? You want to invest in your marketing, and the idea is that you're going to acquire more customers, and over time it's going to cost you less per customer to acquire because you're dialing in your marketing, you're doing a good job. And if you're not, then it's going to start costing you more to acquire the customers you may not want. So getting the right customers at the right place, the right time, and spending the right amount of budget, right? And understanding how much you need to spend in order to get those customers that you want walking through your door or clicking on your website or whatever the case might be. And so the time that you're spending is important. Where are you spending your time? Networking, mingling, going to events? Is it worth your time? Is it going to be, a return on that investment of your time? If you go to a chamber event, is it something that's going to be lucrative to you? Are you going to have the right people in the room? Sometimes it's not about how many people are in the room, it's about the right people being in the room. If you're going to go to a local event that's not necessarily your target audience, right? Is it going to be worth your time? I mean, hey, you might get some value out of it. You might learn some things. You might meet some new people, but you also want to make sure that you're aligning yourself with the right people that you want to work with. And if you donate your time, make sure that you're doing something that's going to provide that return, right? If you give, then the idea is that eventually you'll receive an abundance from that giving that you do with your time. And of course, thinking about how you can utilize the treasure that's out there and the talent that's out there. So if there are things that you don't know how to do and you hire somebody to do, maybe the time invested in them and hiring them to do the things that you don't know how to do could be worth it in even more, because what you're losing out is on opportunity cost of time that you could otherwise be spending on something else that you do know how to do really well. You're also losing out on wages that you're paying maybe somebody on your staff to do it. But if you can hire somebody that's really good at what you want done to get done, maybe it's video production, maybe it's graphic design, maybe it's web design, whatever the case might be, sometimes hiring for those things that you don't know how to do can be even more beneficial to you and give you even better return, because they know what they're doing, right? Ideally, and you want to vet them. You want to make sure that it is the right people that you're working with. But the idea here is to, be able to invest your time wisely in doing what you love to do and what you love to do best, and then hiring others to do what you don't maybe want to take the time or talent and don't have the talent to do. Okay. So time, talent, and treasure. And there's way more information on all of these. There's a whole blog post and a whole nother webinar that we talk about all of the different things that you can do to build your business and your brand and get a return on your marketing investments of what you're doing. So go to themarketingexpedition.com, become a member, and get even more. And again, it'll be worth your investment to get these ideas for your business. All right, without further ado, let's listen to David J's interview and learn some more tips and tools on how you can grow your business.
Welcome to Peppershock Media's Marketing Expedition podcast, keeping you up to date with the latest in marketing and advertising. Now here's your host, Ray Allen.
Welcome to the Marketing Expedition podcast. I'm your host, Ray Allen. I'm the president and CEO of Peppershock Media and the founder of the Marketing Expedition community. And today's guest, we have David J with us. David, welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thanks, Ray. Well, it's great to be here. I'm kind of a serial entrepreneur, I guess. And looking at your website, I think you've got quite a few projects going on too. So it's always fun to chat with other junkies.
That's right. Yes. The serial entrepreneurs are definitely glutton for punishment, but also good rewards sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So tell me about your background. Let's go back a little bit and just share with me kind of what got you from where you were to where you are now. And I just heard you recently moved from Bend, Oregon to Florida. So tell me about that. Go back and then share where you're at now. So back and then forward.
All right. Well, I'll give you kind of a 1-minute recap of the last 20 years. So I dropped out of college in 2001 and kind of had the decision to either be a dropout or be a photographer. And I chose a photographer. So started a service-based photography business, but then started to hit all the typical scale problems, and teamed up with a buddy and started building software. Or he was building it, I was selling it. And so we build one piece of software, use the money from that to build another one and another one and another one and another one. And then, we split apart, and I kept one of the companies and built a couple more. And one of those is on the market right now, kind of right in the middle of a sale. And so we moved down to Florida to get away from some of the crazy taxes on the West Coast and enjoy some nice warm weather down here in sunny Florida.
So yeah, I would imagine from rain to humidity. I guess that's the transition, huh?
Yeah. There's a good bit of rain down here too, but it's definitely a different everything. I mean, different culture. You've got different, climate. You've got just kind of overall different approach to life.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Well, let's talk about the business that you wanted to share more about and what it is that you're doing and how it can help people.
Yeah. So Warm Welcome is the newest venture, and it's something that we started a couple of years ago, and then pandemic hit, and then it was like kind of right place and at the right time, which is, I think, so much of success in tech is just lucky timing. And Warm Welcome is that, we were creating a way for people to connect in a more personal way through video, and doing that mostly through email. But then when everyone's business got shut down, they needed a better, more personal way to sell right through their website. And so that's where our embedded video bubble and embedded video widgets really come in handy, because It kind of brings people back into websites instead of just products. You can now kind of have your personality on there and build trust, through a personal approach.
So explain that a little bit more. What happens when I go to a website that has the warm welcome on your site? What occurs to me if I were the client, let's say?
Yeah. So it's real similar to what would happen if you walked into an Apple store. And if you walk into an Apple store, there's somebody there to give you a warm welcome. They literally call it that. And they got that name from a group called Young Life. Young Life does these summer camps for kids. And when you get off the bus at one of these Young Life camps, everyone's there clapping and cheering you on, saying, welcome to camp. It's going to be the best week of your life. And they call that a warm welcome. And one of these Apple execs said, this is genius. We've got to implement this in every one of our stores. And so that's why they have that greeter there. And so when you look around the internet is a pretty cold place. Like all the humans are gone, right? You go to a website and you see a bunch of pretty product shots or maybe a promotional video, something that's perfect and pre-recorded, but there's no people. And people are really important when, you're making a buying decision. They build trust. They help you understand a product. All these things that pictures and text can't do. And so if somebody has implemented warm welcome, what you'll see probably down in the corner is a little smiling face that's waving at you, and you can click on it and you can have a live conversation right there. Or you can do it asynchronously as well, but it's really powerful live, because no matter what you're selling, like let's say, let's just use Apple example, you're selling AirPods, right? So you go to the website, you have a question about these things. How does the charging mechanism work? How do they fit in your ear? Blah, 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 blah. Well, the person on the other end can instantly show you the product, talk you through it, help you understand it a little better, guide you through the customer journey right there in real time. You're not having to chat with a little automated bot for 5 minutes before you can get somebody real on the line. It's just a real person that's right there to help you. Businesses are finding that that's what people want nowadays. They don't want, robots. They don't want these FAQs and things like that. They want people.
Right. So in real time, people get to see the person on camera and speak with them. Now, is it optional for me as a customer to come online and turn my camera on or not?
Absolutely. Yeah. It can be video to video. You can do audio to video. You can kind of do whatever your comfort level is.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, most people are getting pretty comfortable with being on video. It's not this like, oh, I got to get my hair right and all this. It's like, hey, we're all at home and, dogs are barking, kids are screaming. And I think we like that. People like that.
Wear our pandemic pajamas and no one cares.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's such a better world these days.
Yeah. And so when you say asynchronously, that means that people can leave a message and then your people or the person responding for the company that's implementing warm welcome, they can leave a message back. And it's kind of like this Marco Polo idea where they can give a message, leave a message, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Because you obviously don't want somebody ringing you all day and night, right?
Right.
But,
yeah.
Maybe have your work hours and you leave it on during those hours. And then when you're away, someone can click record, send you a video, audio, or text. And then when it's convenient for you, you can do the same thing. And so it takes away the hassles of scheduling and, hey, can we meet up at this time? Or when is a good time to give you a call? It's like, hey, just ask your question, over video, audio, whatever you want. And then I'll get back to you when it's convenient for me.
Right. Well, this definitely seems like a cool new tool to check out and look into. Tell me about, what is it like when you're implementing it? Do you support people? Do you just say, here's the app, now install it? Like, tell me a little bit about that process. What would it take to get it installed onto your website?
It's really simple. And of course, yeah, we'll help you. But it's literally just one little code snippet that you put in the head tag of your website and you're done. and you never have to touch any code again after that.
I love
And
it. I love it.
yeah, you can have different video bubbles on different pages. You can like, let's say you wanted to reduce churn in your business. If you have a SaaS company or something like that, well, put one of these on the unsubscribe page, right? And, put a video up that says, hey, hold on. I know that we've blown it in some way, but just give us a chance. We want to make it right. And they can click that button, say, hey, yeah, I'm frustrated about this or that. And then you can get back to them and help them with that problem. And just by implementing that one simple little video that shows some empathy, shows that you actually care, that they're walking out of your store, and they're leaving your business, just by implementing that one thing, which takes less than a minute, you're going to reduce churn big time. We're seeing 20, 30% reduction in churn.
So it also kind of works almost like a chat bot, but not quite, because you have that human interaction. But when you set to the settings to say that you're away from the website, then people can still choose however they want to communicate with you. Does it have some, like chatbot features that'll answer questions in the moment, or when people want those answers, or is it really you wait till later to get the response from the human connection?
We don't do any bot automation, things like that. Obviously, everyone has experienced that. And I would say 99 times out of 100, it's a frustrating experience, right? It's like, just get me a person. Like I'm gonna need a person at the end of this. And so why not just give me a person at the beginning of this, right? And it's businesses that have prioritized scale when they really don't have a scale problem. They have a customer service problem. They have a sales problem. And so, since most businesses have sales problem and customer service problem, don't have scale problem, why do they go straight to implementing these chatbots? Why do they focus on the wrong thing, which often prevents them from really growing as a business?
Right. No, the only thing I was thinking of is if you had to do it asynchronously and people wanted to schedule a time, we use, there's like Calendly and Schedule Once and, all of those that we use. I was just curious if you had to do that, if you could still have an opportunity to put like your booking link in there somehow so that people could respond to you that way or schedule a time.
Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah, you can add in custom links, and we're going to be doing a closer tie with Calendly and the other calendar services, because that's a big deal. And sometimes you want to do that.
Right. Yeah. We've come to love and use the Schedule Once, or, Once Hub. It's got lots of different things, which also has a chat bot too, but it would be cool to have the video bubble as a part of the whole suite that you get when you do that. That's awesome. I love that. What made you think of this? What was the catalyst behind why this is the business that you started?
So a friend of mine came over and he looked at some of the other technology that we were building. His name's Eric Knopf. He has a company called Web Connects. And he was looking at this other piece of tech, and he said, hey, I want to use that to send a personal video to every single customer that signs up for our software. And I want to just click record, walk them around the office, introduce them to their account manager, and welcome them to the crew. And I was like, that is genius. I'm going to stop doing the other stuff that I'm doing and just do that.
Nice.
And so it started there. It started as kind of a video email, kind of a video welcome tool. But then, we realized, hey, video email is great. And that's part of the customer workflow, but we want to move even earlier in the customer journey and help businesses convert, leads right from their website. Not wait until they have an email address or wait until someone becomes a client. But the minute that they come to your website, we want to help them build trust by adding that personal touch and that warm welcome greeting right there, on their website or on their contact page, or on their bio page, whatever it is.
Yeah, no, I think this is great. We used to do a whole bunch of green screen walk-on website videos back in the day when that was a big thing. Like, you'd have, you'd walk on the screen on your website and do that. Yeah, I think this could replace some of those old tactics that people would take, but you're right. It is nice to have that and, be able to do that. Now, can people turn the audio on or off if they choose and have subtitles too?
Yeah, we've got a way of doing that. It's not super baked in yet, but yeah, that's important. I think, video on the web oftentimes needs the subtitles. People are watching it muted and whatnot. So it does help get some attention.
Yeah, absolutely. I think sometimes social media, if you don't have those subtitles, people will dismiss it because they don't have the audio up or they're doing something that, they should be in a meeting or who knows what. But yeah, that makes sense to have those subtitles as one option. And plus it makes it inclusive, right? For those that maybe can't hear or just turn the audio up. So cool. I'm glad that you're thinking of that feature as well. Okay, because we're on a marketing journey, and obviously this is definitely right up the alley of being able to utilize this tool to enhance what you're doing. But I want to know for you, what are you doing aside from going on podcasts to help you promote Warm Welcome to other businesses across the country or even world, really, for that matter?
Yeah, well, the number one thing that I'm trying to do is spend more time talking about the customer's problem rather than the product. And so, these podcasts often get turned and they're a lot about the product, and that's fine. But what I'm doing is spending more time on brainstorming calls, kind of mastermind type calls where we're going through a specific work, kind of a use case with a customer or potential customer. And we're saying, hey, here's a way that you could implement in your business. Let's get it implemented together. And that's where I think a lot of marketing and sales is going, because it's more about the customer and their problem and less about the product that we're trying to sell. And that's, I think, the fun of it. That's the fun of sales and marketing is getting to go into someone else's business, understand what they're struggling with, and then help them solve that. And we have a tool that can solve a lot of problems, but if all I talk about is the tool, then you kind of miss out on the opportunity to sell.
Right, right. So one thing I was thinking about too is like logistically, if you've got a team of 10 people, let's say, like we do, and you are utilizing this tool, how do you recommend people implement it so that way it's on? And then, if people can it transfer to other people, is it, like just implementing it? How do you recommend that they get that process in place to make sure that they're using it to their advantage?
Yeah, well, I always suggest to start simple, and just about every business and every website will benefit from adding a little human touch to it. And so I would say have the owner of the business record a 20-second video, that says, "Hi, I'm David. I'm the founder of Warm Welcome. I'd love to chat with you about it and see how we can implement this in your business." Something simple, just like that. Record that, add one of these video bubbles to the homepage of your website and start there. Because now every single person that comes to the website will see that video. They'll see, wow, the founder really believes in this. They stand behind it. They're willing to put their face, on the website. There's a human here for me when I have a problem, right? Now, not everyone is going to click on that and send a video back, right? That doesn't matter. What matters is that they see it. Once they see it, it starts building trust. It causes them to lower their guard. Now they can go through the website with that comfort level of, okay, I already believe a little bit in this product because the founder is right there. It's not this faceless company. So again, 1 minute of work you can do, put it on there, and it's going to start working for you every second of every day.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Okay, so tell me, who are your most ideal clients for Warm Welcome then?
Right now, we're starting kind of bottom up. So we're going and having more conversations with smaller businesses, not the big kind of enterprise level client, partially because they can implement it faster. And no matter what they do, whether it's a service-based business like a wealth advisor or a mortgage broker or a photographer or a web designer. Those are all service-based businesses that are often really founded on a high level of trust, right? If I'm going to pay somebody thousands of dollars to build my company's website, which is the most forward-facing piece of my business, which, provides for my family, like that's a lot of trust that has to be had there, right? You don't just hire anyone to do that. If I'm going to hire someone to manage my money, like a lot of trust. If I'm going to have somebody help me through the process of getting a loan for a home, like, these are big things that you don't hire a faceless company for. You want to know the person that's doing that. And so those are perfect fits, real estate agents, photographers, videographers, go down the line right there. Those are all good candidates. But really, I think every single website should have, this type of personal video added to it.
Yeah, it's really taking your brick and mortar to click and mortar and making it, more readily available for people to have those questions answered. And, when people go on your site, it's because they want to find answers or research you more. And so, I love the idea of having that human connection right away. That's great. So what are some resources or people or podcasts or things that you listen to or places that you go that have helped you along the way?
Oh, wow. Well, I'm kind of old fashioned. So I'm a book junkie. Reading is, I think, really underrated. And, we focus so much on scale, and we focus so much on the amount of content, the amount of consumption that people have moved away from books, right? They're like, oh, I'll just jam in all this other content from a podcast or from whatever. But I think the beauty of reading is not even necessarily the content, but it's the time and space that you give your mind to kind of decompress a little bit, right? We're online, we're listening to podcasts, whatever. That's pushing a lot of content into our minds. Reading, I think, kind of pulls out of that sort of environment. And that's when I find that I'll have the best ideas, or I'll be able to come into work or come into life fresh and be able to operate at a peak level because my mind isn't so, clouded and polluted by so much content.
Yeah, no, I can relate to that. And for me, I like to listen to books too, but you're right. The space that it takes to get yourself in that mode of being able to read and think through what it is that you're reading about. I like that a lot.
Yeah, because a lot of people like podcasts and they like listening to books because they can do something else while they're doing it, right?
Yeah.
Which is, again, is not bad. It's not wrong by any means. It's just a different sort of thing, right? And I think it's great for us just because we live in such a compressed society to just get out of that zone and just go and let our minds just get to the kind of a blank slate again. And it's hard to do, but reading seems to do it.
Okay. What advice would you give someone wanting to pursue a business similar to yours or career similar to what you've done?
My advice is just to start. And I'm a startup guy. That's what I love doing. And so, I'm not saying it's easy, but what I think is most important is that you don't have to have the end all figured out. Like, things are going to change so much along the way anyway, that you don't want to get hung up on how you're going to do everything. So just take one step and do that every single day. Maybe the first day is collecting, everyone that who might be able to help you with your idea. Just collect them all in your contact list. That's it. And then the next day, reach out to them. The next day, have conversations with them. Next day, do one more thing every single day. And don't feel like you have to kind of have the whole plan or have a business. I've never had a business plan at all. Like, to me, most of that is taught in business schools and is not really applicable to today.
It changes
And
so rapidly that as soon as you put it down on paper, it's going to change.
yeah, exactly. And you'll learn more just by going out and doing stuff than planning to do stuff.
So for my listeners, if they are interested in Warm Welcome, tell them how they can get it, what they can do, where they can go. How do they get a hold of you?
Yeah. Well, it's just right over at warmwelcome.com. You can create a free account and try it out. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can do for free. And, again, just start simple. Just start adding a personal touch, add yourself to your website. Like that's the beauty of your business, is that it's been crafted by you. Like you are the kind of the secret sauce to it. So don't hide, put yourself out there, and Warm Welcome can hopefully help you do that.
Excellent. I think I'm going to go have to try it out for myself and see how it works out and, give you a review for that.
I love it.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, thank you so much, David, for stopping by on this podcast and sharing with us all these wonderful wisdoms of things that we can do to help us build our brand and all the things that you have shared. I think there's going to be a lot of good coming from what you're doing.
Well, we hope so. Yeah, I think when people can talk again instead of typing back and forth, I think we'll see less fighting online and we'll see more relationships built. It's face-to-face conversations tend to be a lot more civil than the Facebook and Twitter fights that we see every day.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Civility needs to make a return, make a comeback for sure. Well, thank you very much, David J. And we will be sure and put that in the link, thewarmwelcome.com. And for those of you listening, we really appreciate your reviews because that's the best form of compliments you can give us and sharing out with the world what we need to hear, just like today with what we heard with Warm Welcome and all the resources that we can offer you. So until next time, enjoy the journey.
Thanks for listening to the Marketing Expedition podcast. Find more online at peppershock.com. Wouldn't it be great if there was one place you can go to get all the latest information and tips about marketing and advertising? The Marketing Expedition community is that place. People like you gather in our online community to build relationships with others and find the latest marketing trends, tactics, tools, and technology. We help you build your brand and your bottom line. Start your adventure today. Visit themarketingexpedition.com to find out more.